Hey guys, I'm back today to talk about a couple of spreads I put together specifically designed to deal with a particular project. So I actually just got contracted for 3 books, so I'm going to be writing 3 books that are going to get published. Woohoo! Very excited about that. So I wanted to put together a few spreads that will help me sort of organize everything that I need to do, especially because things are going to be happening with each of the 3 books at the same time. Book 1 right now is in kind of the revision stage, and then of course it's going to be published, and then there will have to be marketing and that kind of stuff. I am currently writing book 2, and I'm going to be writing book 3 shortly after that. So I thought I would share this with you because obviously for other writers, maybe another writer might find it useful, but I think it can also be adapted for other kinds of projects that you have, especially when you have multiple ones going on at once. So I did 2 spreads to organize kind of the timelines, and this is kind of like your normal bullet journal spread where you just have like October 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and it kind of runs down. But what I did was I did a line for essentially each 4 weeks in each month-ish. And so that I can track, because between now and May, I know I need to have all 3 of the books finished being written. So for right now, that's what this is kind of focusing on. And I went through and I wrote down everything that I know is going to happen with book 1 in terms of editing. And then what I know right now in terms of book 2 writing, and in terms of book 3 when I need to be writing, I went ahead and wrote those down as well. So I've got this organized, so you can see a column, book 1, book 2, book 3. So essentially part 1, part 2, part 3 of the project, whatever that project is. I've also got it color coded, so yellow, or pink, and green, and you'll see a little bit more why I did that. So as I have more information that's coming down the pike with respect to other deadlines for book 2 and book 3, and then when I understand what's going to be happening with the marketing, I will be slotting these in as well. And so this is going to get a lot busier, and a lot, there'll be a lot more stuff, and probably more stuff in different places, and hopefully this will help me kind of track it. Now this helps me kind of track 1, 2, 3, keep those visually straight. That's the purpose of this layout for me. Then I also created this, which is sort of like a future spread. October, November, December, January, February. So if I want to look at like each month exactly what I need to be doing kind of all together, sometimes my brain wants to think this way. And this is where the color coding comes in a little bit better for me. So with things that I have to do, I have boxes that I can tick off because I love to be able to fill in my little boxes. And for things that I know are just important things for me to remember, like this is where the structural revisions come back to me, the critique that tells me what structural revisions I need to make. This is when, I get that. And then so that tells me something important is happening. A task box is something that I'm going to have to do. And then I go through and I write everything that I know is going to need to be happening in each month, and I'm color coding it, which is something I don't normally do. But because, especially once as it's getting closer to my first book coming out, there's going to be more stuff that's going to happen with marketing. And then once the first book comes out, there's going to be a lot more that's happening with marketing while I'm still writing these other books. This hopefully is going to help me keep that straight. So when I need to sort of keep a project straight, this spread does that for me. When I need to keep a month straight and kind of set up what I need to be doing to prioritize writing time versus marketing time or whatever, hopefully this spread is going to help me do that a little bit better. Okay, so I also did a general master to-do list, and this is there's gonna be a lot more stuff on here once I know more of what I have to do with marketing and that kind of stuff. But for now, I just have things like for book 1, my structural edit. I know I'm going to need a copy edit, proofread, final proof. Book 2, since I'm still writing it, my general to do, finish first draft, finish second draft, etc. And I haven't really started the first draft, so this probably should be like start first draft, but you get the point. And then some general things that I need to do, like go in and update my Amazon profile, my Goodreads profile, all that kind of stuff. So this is going to get added to and hopefully keep me aware of like my master task list. So that's just another way that sometimes my brain needs to take a look at a particular project and go, okay, here's my to-do list on that. All right, now in terms of tracking my progress, because what I like to do when I know I have something to do, like when I know I need to do a structural edit, for example, and I have 2 weeks to do it, I will look and I will go, okay, I've got 81 scenes that I need to revise. So that breaks down to, let's just say I had 10 weeks, which is ridiculous, or let's say I have 10 days, which is probably going to be more accurate or closer to the truth. We'll find out. So if I have 10 days to do this, then I know right off the bat I need to be doing 8.1 or 8.5 probably would be the better way to go, scenes per day, or 9 scenes per day if I want to keep myself ahead of schedule. And then what I do is, as I finish a scene, I will go in here and mark it off, and I can quickly take a look at how much needs to be done more. I can also quickly take a look and see how much I have finished, which for me is a great big motivator to be able to go in at the end of the day and mark things off. I don't like getting to the end of the day and not being able to mark things off. So if that doesn't work for you, then don't do it. But if it does, you know, great. So I haven't put anything here yet because I don't know if I'm going to have to go a second round of structural edits, which I may. And then my scene length will possibly be very different by then. Anyhow, I may have more scenes, I may have fewer scenes, so we'll see. So when I have to do my copy edit, basically I have the same thing here. I put 82 scenes because I actually, since I wrote this, I know I have one more scene that I have to add in. So I put 82 scenes. There may be more or less depending, but I will do the same thing. I will go through and check off as I am copy editing. For the proofread, I think it makes sense to me to do it more in terms of final. For the proofread, I think it makes more sense for me and my brain to do it in terms of words. And then I've got another page for book 2, and you'll see that there's a different breakdown here again as well. So for the first draft, when I'm just writing my first draft, I do it in terms of words. So I know that I'm going to try to hit about 85,000 words for my first draft, approximately. It might be a little bit more, it might be a little less, depending on where the story takes me. But so this again allows me to kind of check things off. But then once I go into revision, so creating that second draft, I think more in terms of scenes. So I've got this down to scenes. Same thing with the structural edit. And why do I have 94 scenes? Because I was doing something else while I was writing this out, and I forgot to stop at 80. So that might end up getting crossed off, but that's a beautiful thing about a bullet journal, right? Is we don't have to be perfect. And again, I don't know if I'm going to have to do a second structural edit. I do also know that I will need to be copy editing and stuff like that, but I haven't created that yet. I just went ahead and started book 3 because I know I'm going to have to start book 3 before I'm doing the copy edits on book 2. So I will go and make an additional spread when it comes down to that. So, and then the last thing, which I'm going to try out here, is I've created a storyboard space for myself. And these are repositionable, so I can pull these up and move them if I want. And I have this one done in pencil so far because I'm not quite sure what structure is going to work best for me. So for right now, I'm just looking at Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. So when I start plotting out book 1, or excuse me, so when I start plotting out book 3, what I'm going to do is sort of use the storyboard to kind of help me with my initial planning for book 3. And so right now I just have things like inciting incident, midpoint somewhere in Act 2 here, and Allah's last moment resolution. And as I kind of figure out what structure works best for me, I will change these, and then I will eventually pen it in and hopefully use this for other books as well. So this is what I have set up in order to try to keep straight my 3 books that I'm going to be writing and revising and sort of promoting all at the same time. And I hope something here, if you're a writer, I hope something in here is useful for you. If you are not a writer, I hope that the basic planning stuff, or even the storyboard, because you can storyboard different stages of a project and kind of keep things going, and use the space to mark whatever status you want to be marked as you're kind of working that stuff out. Hopefully something here will be useful to somebody, and I will link everything down below, the products that I use, and sort of I will link like the basic bullet journal site and stuff too. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. Happy planning.